I feel like I always start my videos with like a sip of tea or coffee or something. So this is your cue to go and get your hot drink to just have like a little sit down chit chat with me in this video. What's up guys? Hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. I have a different kind of video today and I'm actually so excited about it. I absolutely loved watching these kind of videos when I was sort of like starting on my gym fitness journey. I just found it so interesting to see where people had started, how they found it, and their just kind of like journey throughout the whole thing. I just absolutely love watching videos like that. And so I thought today that I would do one of my own fitness journey. So I think it was 2 days ago I put like a little question box on my Instagram just to get some questions that I could answer throughout this video. I feel like I'll just generally chat about my fitness journey, but I will also obviously answer those questions as well, just so we get like the whole picture. So I can give like my side, and then obviously I'll answer the questions to get like a more in-depth view into like some areas of my journey. And obviously if you enjoy this video, then I would be more than happy to do a part 2 or like a continuation of this video. So if you missed out on asking me any questions in this video, then make sure to follow my Instagram. I will have the link in the description box down below, so make sure to follow me on there. So next time I put a question box on my story for questions for a Q&A, you can give me your questions. I feel like I could chat about this for a while, so I think we should jump straight in. I've got my questions with me. I'm actually really excited. Oh, like why can I not find them? Okay, so just for like a quick, brief, like background story of my, I guess, fitness journey. I think it started 4 years ago when I first joined a gym. Like it started, my Instagram started 4 years ago, and I had just joined a gym for the first time. I'd kind of fell out of exercise and doing things for about 2 years, and then came to the realization that I wasn't feeling my best, wasn't looking after myself in the way that I wanted to, fell down very slippery slopes, and yeah, just kind of wanted to get back into it. So I joined a gym with my sister, got into it, and it has been one hell of a journey since then. My goals have completely changed since when I started. I feel like I'll talk about that more in depth in a minute, and I'll take a look at the questions first. But yeah, the goals I had when I started versus the goals that I have now are completely different. I've also, it's like a difficult one because obviously, so I've only been a member of a gym for 4 years, but then when I got like halfway through my second year, I want to say, going to the gym and like my fitness journey and stuff, I actually had an ovarian cyst, and you know, I was like admitted to hospital, the cyst burst. I won't go like into too much detail on this. I actually have a video on my channel where I talk about that whole experience and like my recovery and all of that, and I filmed that at the time, like when it was very fresh and it had all just happened. So I'll also leave that in the description box down below if you wanted to check that out and like know more about that side of things. And then I guess my journey since then has been quite weird because even though that was almost 2 years ago now, that was a year and like 11 months, so basically 2 years ago, even though it's been a while, I still feel like I'm recovering, and I don't feel that I'm at the stage yet that I was in my fitness before that happened. Like I almost still feel like I'm catching up. So yeah, I guess that is like a massive part of my motivator at the moment. But let's get into the questions. Okay, let's start with a nice little easy one. So this one is, do you take any supplements? So I guess I'll do sort of like an overview of what I have taken and what I take now. So when I first started, I was very much into like the like just wanting to slim down, like that was my only goal. So I guess before I joined the gym, I honestly, and I can't believe I'm admitting this because I don't think anybody knows this, like not even, I guess my family might know, but I really tried to hide the fact that I fell into the slippery slope of taking detox teas. And like I feel like that is such a hard thing for me to admit, and like I've never addressed that on my Instagram before because like I just feel so silly for the fact that like I took them, but obviously like everything is a journey, and I didn't know at the time, I didn't really know much about that at all. But yeah, I took some detox teas which really wouldn't have been very good for my body. I did not lose weight, obviously, because they don't work. They just like dehydrate you for one, and just don't let you process your food properly. And I'm not sure if you've heard of the company Juice Plus, but I also fell into that. And that was in a time of my fitness journey where I was not eating enough. And this is why I think the whole side of the fitness industry that promotes and advertises meal replacements, like just before I joined a gym and became a bit more knowledgeable, those things really pull you in. And I don't know, their advertising is so good because you don't think there's anything wrong with them, and you think they work and that is a normal thing to do, when it's really not. And yeah, I massively fell into that, was under eating, and it was only like I was so tired. Obviously the detox teas weren't letting me absorb any nutrients because everything just goes through you. I was probably really dehydrated. I was still in like school and college and had a part-time job as well, like and then taking these meal replacements which I fully thought would work and like could actually replace a nutritious wholesome meal, which they can't. And yeah, completely underfueled, completely under eating. And it was actually only until I posted a picture on like my old Instagram, which technically is my private Instagram, but I just don't use it anymore, and my mum was like, you look really skinny. At the time, being skinny being my goal, that should have been like, oh my god, amazing, thank you. But the way she said it, that didn't sound like a good thing. I almost immediately was like, oh, it's just the angle, like I'm not actually that tiny, it's just the picture, like it's just, you know, it makes me look smaller than I am, like trying to cover it up because I didn't want to admit that I was taking detox teas and eating meal replacements, which I was trying to cover up as like, oh no, it's just like a smoothie, I've already had breakfast. It was a very weird time in my life, which I've never actually spoken about. I said I'd start with an easy question and I've really like dove in deep here. So yeah, it was only then that I realised those were not for me, and I've hated brands like that since. I know that hate is a strong word, but yeah, if I get spam emails or anybody from a company like that like DMs me being like, would you like to work with us, like I just get so angry because they know who they're picking on, they know who they're advertising like to, and it's so dangerous. And then when I got into the gym, I was taking, I think it was just sort of like multivitamins, whey protein. I've always bought all of my protein from My Protein. So I used their whey protein multivitamins, their protein pancake mix, and I bought their skinny hot chocolate, but it was really sweet and I couldn't drink it, so I didn't actually like take that. And their Flav drops as well, which I still love. Yeah, would like continue buying. This was when I actually saw supplements as a way to like supplement my diet and not replace. You like almost eat as you would and try and plan out your eating, and then like your supplements just supplement that, like it's like an additional thing. That's what I was taking when I first started. I probably took the whey protein for about a year and then decided that I would like to try a vegan protein, and since then I've only taken vegan protein. I find that my skin reacts way better to it, like my energy levels and all that. I just don't think whey protein worked for me personally. Obviously, like muscle wise it would have worked, but like with the rest of my body, vegan protein just suited me way better. So yeah, when I then got into sort of like my bulking stage where I was very goal driven, I just wanted to be like bigger and stronger and smash PBs. this is when I was taking the vegan protein. I was also eating Grenade protein bars and creatine monohydrate, but not all the time. I sort of like spaced it out as you're meant to, because you're not meant to take it all the time, otherwise your body stops producing it. And I was also drinking BCAAs like throughout my sessions. But they sort of like, it wasn't an all-time thing. Like I wouldn't be doing it all the time consistently. It would just sort of be like as and when I thought that I needed it or just like fancied it. It wasn't like a religious thing. And I was still taking multivitamins at that point as well. And to be honest, if gyms were open, I feel like what I'd be taking in the gym now if I was training properly would be very similar to what I was taking then. And then now, because we're in lockdown and I'm doing home workouts, but obviously I have very limited equipment at home, so it's not a lot of strength work. So basically at the moment I'm just taking multivitamins, but I've swapped to the Shreddy Club Daily Dose drink, which if you do watch my What I Eat in a Days, you will have seen that. But I'll put like a little picture up here so you know what it looks like. And at the moment I've got the peach iced tea flavour, and it's 100% my favourite flavour. I'm definitely going to be sticking to that. Yeah, and then every now and then I have a little protein smoothie, or if I do have a really hard session then I will have a protein shake. But I just feel like at the moment, because all the workouts are at home, like it's a little bit different. But when I get back into the gym, I'm sure things will change again. So yeah, I think that answers that question. So on to the next one. Was the gym your first form of sport, or have you always been sporty? Okay, this is a simple question. I should have started with this one. No, the gym was not my first form of sport. I have actually always been a relatively active person. Like throughout my whole childhood, I played like tennis, I danced, I did athletics, oh gosh, rugby, cross country, hockey, and like swimming. Like obviously as you're younger and you learn to swim, but I never swam like competitively. The only sport that I did competitively was athletics, was track and field. I have done that basically my whole life. Yeah, so I started, I feel like as most people do, I started doing like 100s and 200s and then progressed to do sort of like more multi-event and 400 and 800s as well. But yeah, I've generally been really active throughout my whole life. Absolutely loved PE. I took it for GCSE and A-level. After I finished school, I did like a coaching apprenticeship. Like sport has always been a massive part of my life, and it still is, and I've always enjoyed it. Like we were always the family that would just go for a kickabout in the park, or like when my brothers were in rugby training, I would just sort of like come and watch and just like kick a ball over the posts, because they didn't have a girls team at the time and I was too scared to just train with the boys. I just wanted a girls team. And then yeah, when I was growing, I had a massive problem with shin splints, which is why I stopped doing athletics and stopped doing a lot of things. So then sort of when I finished school, I didn't really do much exercise for about 2 years, and then that is when I joined the gym then, after that sort of 2 years of not doing anything. And then it's kind of just been gym and then track and field since then. But then I also do surfing, just going to the beach a lot, because I love going to the beach, like running, rounders. Like I generally am just quite an active person, and I go for, as a family, we just go on a lot of like walks and hikes and stuff. So yeah, I'd say that's what I do mainly at the moment, is the gym, running, surfing, and then just like walking in general, staying active. So this question is, do you still love training as much as you did when you first started? And I feel like that's a really good question, and to be honest, I would probably say I love it more now, only because at the start, and I feel like this could be true for quite a few people, exercises are like, it shouldn't be, but at the start for me definitely it was like a form of punishment. Like I didn't want to be doing it, I didn't know what I was doing, I just wanted to change the way I looked. And until I found a way of exercising that I enjoyed and like loved doing, and I would look forward to the gym, I probably didn't enjoy it unless I was training with somebody else. And lucky for me, I feel like that stage in my training journey didn't last very long, But yeah, I would definitely say that I love it more now because I've found what I love, and I do still like experiment. I like to try new things, but I feel like it is something that you learn to love. And I always say this about running as well. 9 times out of 10, if you're a beginner runner, you will hate it because your body's not used to it, and it just like hurts your body in places that you've never really hurt before. And I always say to people, like, just if you enjoy it enough to do it, then just like carry on and push through that, and you will get to a point where it's more enjoyable to you. Obviously that's not the same for everybody, and not everyone is gonna eventually like running, but yeah, that was just like a sort of example that I could think of. So this question is, how do you cope with the time of the month, with energy, etc.? And I feel like this is a really important question to address because, I mean, it's way more talked about now, but when I started my sort of like going to the gym journey, it wasn't really spoken about much because the fitness industry was so like male-sided. I don't, you know, like one-sided, and it was male. Again, I feel like this is an answer that has changed over the past 2 years because like pre-ovarian cyst, my periods were always like unproblematic. They weren't painful, they were really light. It wasn't very different for me. So I feel like I could just train through it, except for maybe the first year that I had my period. So when I was about 16, because every single time I would go to like a track session, if I was on my period, I would just be completely uncoordinated. Like, my mum used to coach me, and because she was an athletics coach, and she'd sort of like come up to me after the first couple of drills. She was like, "You're on your period, aren't you?" Because I was just like so unbelievably uncoordinated. It was really weird. Yeah, so I then had about 4 years of them not really affecting my training at all. And then I think when I was under eating, I actually lost my period, which is obviously never a good sign. But I wasn't really like informed enough then to know that that was an issue, so I didn't really do anything about it, which is obviously not very healthy and not very good for my body, so sorry about that. It was an accident, I swear. And then up until recently, I had the implant, which actually stopped my periods, which is obviously a side effect. I think that's quite normal. I feel like losing your period is less worrying when you're on contraception because it can have that effect. Yeah, I guess for like most of my gym journey I had the implant, so I didn't really have periods until my ovarian cyst. It's been one hell of a journey, and I feel like I could probably do a whole separate Q&A on that or a whole separate video on that, because I still don't have answers. Like, I'm still going through that. I literally have a GP appointment in like 4 days. Like, it's been so up and down. I think that's why I'm a lot more relaxed with my training at the moment, because I'm in like a sort of weird phase where I would like fully grind for like 2 weeks and then just be in complete agony and not be able to move for like 2 weeks. And then like it was just like so up and down, and it was like really hard mentally because I was like, oh, but I was like just getting somewhere and now I can't train. So I feel like I've almost taken a step back from trying to reach goals and trying to smash goals, and just until this whole like issue is sorted, just sort of like consistently exercise so that my body, like, so that I feel good and that like my body is functioning optimally. But I'm not actually like massively trying to train hard at the moment. It is obviously something that I want to do, and I would love to be able to go back to the gyms when they open and like smash out PBs, but it all depends on like where I am with this whole journey, because I still don't really have answers, and it like can get quite frustrating. So I've like almost taken a little step back so that there's less pressure on myself. Yeah, I guess with the whole like time of the month question, it is completely down to the individual, and almost down to like each month as well. I find like they can all be so different. One month you'll be completely fine, you'll have like loads of energy, you'll be smashing your workouts, and then like the next month you'll just have no energy. And I feel like that's completely fine, and you know, I think it should be talked about more, and people really need to address it when they're making workout plans, because sometimes you just need to rest for the whole week, and actually trying to smash through a session will have a negative effect on your energy levels, because I think when individuals are on their period, their body temperature actually rises and like you burn more calories, and that has like a knock-on effect on your eating then, because you actually need to eat more then to fuel yourself normally, like more than you would do on a normal week. There's like a lot of information about it, and it's being spoken about a lot more now, so if that is something that you're interested in, or something that like you're curious in, or need some answers, then obviously just like get into that and like do your research so you can have some more information. But yeah, it is a massive topic in the fitness industry at the moment, and I think it's really important, and it's really good that it's being addressed. So I'm going to round this video up here, because I feel like I have been talking for a very long time. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new about me, or you just found it interesting to listen to my fitness journey. I feel like I've never really done a video like this before, but it was really fun to do and really interesting, so I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my content, then make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want another video like this, and obviously make sure to follow my Instagram if you want one of your questions to be featured in my next video like this, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!